My name is Lamar, the founder of Give to Win competitions for people who may be watching this. And what we do is we're a fundraiser for the homeless. What we do is we provide meals, essential items, and all that stuff by hosting competitions and giveaways. So all the money that we raise through our giveaways, we're then able to assist it with the less fortunate. So right now we're actually giving away a car. It's a 2021 Acura RDX, and all the money that we're raising through this giveaway supplies our street team. So here in Edmonton, we go out every week and we literally give back on the street level and just encourage people with words and food and a little bit of everything.
Great.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. And so I would love to know, I guess, more about your organization.
Yeah, for sure. So Raising the Roof has been around for nearly 25 years, and we're a national organization that is trying to find long-term solutions to homelessness. And we do that through the creation of affordable housing through our Reside program, where we create housing for people who have experienced homelessness or at risk of experiencing homelessness, using social enterprise contractors to renovate the homes, and then finding local agencies within the cities to help us find the tenants for the homes, and then provide the tenants with wraparound services so that they're supported and can live a stable, healthy life in their new homes. So that's the gist of what we do.
So how long have you been with Raising the Roof?
I haven't been very long with Raising the Roof. So I'm the marketing manager. I run the Toque campaign, which is the fundraiser that happens every year where we sell toques with the funds going towards Raising the Roof, as well as partner agencies. So agencies across Canada who are working one-on-one with on the front lines with people experiencing homelessness. So I've only been with the organization a few months, but it's been fun so far.
So is it that I guess you were passionate about helping the homeless, or how did you find yourself coming to this organization?
So I've been involved with nonprofit for many years. So I was at a different organization before, working on food security. And I also come from a graphic design and e-commerce background. So kind of put it all together, and then we can sell toques for a good cause.
So I'm excited. I'm glad you brought up the toques, because that's what I really wanted to get into, actually, was understanding how we can support what you're doing with the toques. So my understanding is when people buy, and I saw the toques, they don't just look warm, they actually look pretty nice too.
Yeah.
And so what my understanding is when people buy a toque, proceeds then support your organization. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the proceeds from the toques go towards Raising the Roof, and then they also, if you're buying off the website, they're going towards an agency. A portion is going to an agency in cities across Canada. So we have about 17 agencies, and these are partners, basically homeless shelters, people working in community centers who are working on the front lines, and they get a portion of the proceeds as well.
Quite similarly, that's what we started off doing initially in the beginning of the year. We were selling T-shirts, and they said #GiveHope. And the idea, and we're still going to work with the idea, but the idea was to raise a lot of, they buy a shirt, they get a cool shirt, the money goes to a nonprofit organization, homeless organization, and then as well they get entered to win the car. So people did end up buying quite a few shirts. It was really awesome. But I like that people get a tangible item, and then they can feel good when they wear it, knowing that they made a contribution to a worthy cause. Do you find people are receptive that same way for toques?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been a very successful campaign. It's been going for almost 25 years. So the Raising the Roof symbol has become a symbol of solidarity with the issues. And it's really great to be able to show your support publicly and tell other people about it. And then also the funds go to a good cause.
So let's say people who are watching this right now, they're maybe interested in saying, okay, let me see what these toques are about. My understanding was $15-ish. How does it get broken down in terms of where the money goes? Are you guys transparent with that, open with that, or anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, for sure. So basically there's a few different ways that the money gets split up depending on how the toques are being sold. So with our partner agencies, the way it works is sometimes the partner agencies will sell the toques themselves in their own cities. And that is a fundraiser for them. And basically the profits, so it's $15 for a toque, and 50% go to the partners and 50% go to Raising the Roof. And Raising the Roof covers all the overhead of creating and manufacturing the toque. And so there's a small portion that goes towards that. So basically $750 to Raising the Roof, $750 to the partner organization. And then, that gets broken down incrementally based on overhead costs, and then going towards the Raising the Roof proceeds go to our Reside program, which is helping to actually buy affordable homes and to rent them out as affordable units.
Do you find that, like, when people get into these homes, do you find they go back to the streets, or do you find, like, what's the success with people getting into the homes? Have you found great results?
Yeah, so this is actually a newer program. We've only been around for a couple of years, but so far so good. Okay. So the stats, they haven't quite come in yet, but because this is the start of this project. We have about 3 active homes, and there's many more to come in different cities across the country. So Winnipeg is our next project. We've got stuff going in Ontario and potential in other provinces as well. But it's been very successful in that you don't just give somebody, a safe place to live. It's also helping them with the other aspects that make it challenging to stay in a stable home. So whether that is helping them with employment, helping them with mental health resources. And so being able to have that wraparound full holistic support. So it's not just about the house and about having a roof over your head. You still have to be able to pay your rent, buy food. There's all these different aspects of living that need to be covered. So that's part of the program as well. And so far, so good.
Can you share maybe 1 or 2 myths that people might have about homelessness that you've discovered are simply not true, or misguided or misinformed information people might have?
Sure. So something that I find very, very interesting is that it's very hard to quantify how many people are homeless in Canada or experiencing homelessness, because there are, it's not necessarily what we imagine being homeless is. So here, I'm based in Toronto. Homelessness is can be very visible on the streets, but as you may or may not know, there's many different ways of being homeless, of being a person who is unhoused. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily living on the streets. There are lots of people who are sheltered but are using the systems in place that the government provides, or nonprofits in this communities are providing. But then there's also estimates that there's even more hidden homeless, what they would call the hidden homeless, which is people who are in between houses, who've had conflicts with landlords, who, for whatever reason, can't find a home and are basically couch surfing. They don't have a permanent location. And that's a lot of people and I think that understanding that is really interesting and relatable, in that, we're all trying to pay our rent, and it's very, we can all be one rent payment away from not having a place to live. And if you don't have somewhere to go, that's how these things happen. And it's much more common than we realize.
It's sad, because I think we as humans sometimes overlook it, or we think, oh, well, they created that themselves. Or people even hear that the government should be the ones to get them out of the mess, but it's not on us to be able to help them. It strictly should be the government. So some people have, certain mindsets growing up from things they've heard or seen, but ultimately what you're saying is it can affect anyone.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How do you find what's it like in Edmonton?
I hear same thing. I hear stories about people paycheck to paycheck. They lost their job, and now they can't pay their rent, so now they have to take what they can take out of the streets, and the challenge is trying to get out of that situation, or trying, because it's like, and now they're, or situations where maybe they don't have the clothes to get a good job interview, and so now there's a cycle that they aren't able to get into that area of funding there. So it's, I think it's relatively similar, but it's just the economy. Drugs are also a factor, mental health, different things, but ultimately I believe everybody can get the help. I think it's just in terms of one step at a time, and helping somebody take one step at a time, and not realizing it's not too much, but I think we can all do one thing, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And I think it's important what you're doing in terms of educating people in your community. And I think Raising the Roof is trying to find long-term solutions. So there are lots of short-term solutions that we all know of, in terms of reducing the effects of poverty. So whether that's a food bank, which is actually a very short-term solution. Long-term solution is finding homes for people that are stable and secure, and they have access to the basic needs of life. And so that's the main goal. I was trying to make sure that everyone who wants a house can have somewhere stable to live.
I like that. If they want a house, there's somewhere stable they can live.
Yeah, I think that that's something that we can all agree on, and we should work together to make that happen.
Awesome. So tell the people who may be watching where they can find out more about Raising the Roof, or find out more about what's going on with homelessness, and some resources that they might be able to, where they can buy a toque.
Yeah, for sure. So they can buy a toque on our website, raisingtheroof.org, and follow us on social media. The toque campaign starts on November 22nd, which is National Housing Day. And that's when we launch the campaign. You can still buy a toque now, but that's when the campaign starts. And buy a toque, post a selfie on social media with wearing the toque, and spread the word to other people.
I think it's cool. We can kind of create like a ripple effect, and we can kind of just, through clothing, through different means, we can inspire others to be like, wow, I bought this, and we're making a difference, and other people might want to do the same thing. And I think in the greater scheme of things, we can see a big change with homelessness in terms of ending it long term, and just making people aware that it doesn't have to happen. If their systems are in place, we can organize the structure better.
Yeah, for sure. There's a reality in which homelessness doesn't have to exist, and we just have to make that collective decision that it shouldn't exist, and therefore this is part of that. And advocating government and our communities and raising awareness is part of that as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your amazing time. It was nice to finally connect with you. I say finally, but it was nice to connect with you and get to know more about your organization. I look forward to supporting the toques come November. And Great. Ultimately, I want to direct people to go get a toque if you want to support the homeless, if you want to get something for your head, something comfortable, something that's stylish. Yeah. And check out their website. You won't be disappointed, and your money's going to a great cause.
Great. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your day.
Bye.
Bye.